This is TWiT.
Tech Break is brought to you by our friends at IT Pro TV, now called ACI Learning. Invest in your current workforce and fortify your business's future. Your whole team will love to be entertained while they train. Visit go.acilearning.com/TWiT. TWiT listeners can receive up to 65% off an IT Pro Enterprise Solution Plan after completing their form. Based on your team's size, you'll receive a properly quoted discount tailored to your needs. I wanted to say congratulations, Lou. I know you're not responsible for this, but Satya Nadella's acquisition of Activision Blizzard has been completed as of the 13th, Friday the 13th. Largest acquisition in Microsoft history, nearly $30 billion. Did a memo go out or anything? Did you have a party?
Yes, absolutely. I think it's interesting part. It doesn't necessarily always come out from Satya, right? Because the CEO of Xbox is really where it comes from. And I think it's a big win for the company, obviously, but I think it was definitely not without a fight. And history has a memory, so we'll have to see how it goes with the rest of the company and how it integrates it.
A number of companies, including I think the Journal, are giving Microsoft president Brad Smith credit more than anybody because Microsoft created, in effect, a giant political action arm, a lobbying arm under Smith that was instrumental in getting government approval.
I mean,
I'm not going to put you on the spot.
I don't want
to get you in trouble with the press, but credit to Brad Smith. Here's the article. This is the Financial Times. How Brad Smith used Microsoft's $1 billion law and lobbying machine to win the Activision battle, and really nothing illegal. No assertion of misbehavior here, but it took them 21 months. They got opposition not just from the FTC, but from the EU, and maybe most famously from Great Britain, whose Competition's Market Authority said, hey, wait a minute, you're going to take over cloud gaming, which is the most absurd complaint of all, because the cloud gaming market is not exactly a powerful market. Microsoft was at great pains to say, even with this acquisition, we're only number 3 after Sony and Nintendo. Actually, maybe number 4 if you include a Chinese gaming company. I can't remember which one it was. Tencent, maybe. And it's true, they're not a behemoth in gaming. Well, number 4 is still pretty good. My concern, and I always had this concern, I'm curious what Reed and Denise think. I won't put you on the spot because I know this is the company you work for. And you're not, we should be very clear. You are not speaking for Microsoft.
I do not speak for Microsoft.
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah. When you're on, you're on speaking for TWiT. But I was a little concerned because I feel like, in general, mergers create big companies and eliminate or make it harder for small companies. And even in an industry that's as kind of irrelevant as gaming, I don't know if it's a good thing to have one company be so powerful. Sony is, of course, the most powerful, maybe Nintendo. But still, Microsoft, with this acquisition, gets a lot of titles, not just Call of Duty, but a lot of big titles, Overwatch and World of Warcraft. Reed, is this, do you share my concern, or is it like, well, it's just gaming?
I would think of it sort of more from like a consumer standpoint, like what is it going to mean for consumers? And I think that was sort of, a big part of the discussion was exclusivity deals, and whether Call of Duty would be on, would just be exclusive to Xbox after this deal. They sort of, quelled those concerns. I think that, in the end, the concessions they made, I mean, we'll see. Like I don't know, but and we'll see if those actually end up sort of, making this something that is better that is not as like, harmful to consumers as it might have been. And that seems to be the big question, but we'll see. I mean,
well, one of the real concerns was workers, and Microsoft, Brad Smith, again, at work, went to the Communication Workers of America, the union representing these game designers and programmers, and got them to say, yeah, it's a good thing. not clear completely how he got them to say that. They were originally kind of against the whole thing. But that was a big turning point because the EU, at least, and probably other countries were very concerned about how this would affect the employees of Activision Blizzard.
Yeah, for sure. I'm just saying my concern is more about consumers.
Yeah, as a gamer, I don't want Microsoft. Now, they've done a great job with Minecraft. You could argue that Minecraft is better positioned than it was before Microsoft bought it.
And I guess it's multi-platform, right? I mean, you can,
Yeah.
Although I was playing around with the new Oculus, or not Oculus, sorry, the Quest.
Quest 3.
Well,
it started as Oculus. That's fair. I call it the Oculus all the time, yeah.
Makes me sound old or something. And I was sort of like, the first thing that my kid asked me, not that I'm really letting him, he's 7. I'm not like letting him play a lot of VR, but I told him, I'm trying out this thing. You want to just like see how it is? And he's like, does it have Minecraft on it? Uh-huh. And I think there is a way to do it.
Yep.
But it's not like, yeah, you can sideload it, but it's not like right on that. I was wondering, I didn't like look into this, but I was wondering, why is it not, would Microsoft just not do that? Because, they've got their own, I don't know, but they are doing a deal with Quest though. So maybe it will be on there eventually.
There are ways to do, I know I have the Pro, Quest Pro, ridiculous, expensive device that's sitting on a shelf. But there are ways to make games like Valheim, my favorite game. People have said you can use mods to put this on the Quest, and it's the most lifelike. It's like incredible. You feel like you're a Viking. And I'm probably with Minecraft to be really fun too. Valheim is like Minecraft for grown-ups. You can play it without shame. But it's the same thing. It's the same game.
Yeah.
I'd like to do that. I think it's a good idea.
You floated a notion a moment ago, it's just gaming. I think, as we talk about this, it's clear it's not just gaming. It's immersive experiences and how they're going to develop over time and how they're going to move into other arenas as well. So I do think it's an important sector to keep an eye on. But antitrust scrutiny is not, a pin in a map. It's more fluid than that. I'm sure that, there will be questions that arise down the road as well.
Absolutely. In fact, the FTC has said, we're not done. Just because the acquisition happened doesn't mean we're throwing in the towel. This story from Reuters, U.S. antitrust enforcer says pressing on with fight against Microsoft Activision deal. It's kind of hard once the deal is closed. The FTC has an argument scheduled before the appeals court on December 6th. They say we are focused on that appeal. FTC spokesperson Victoria Graham says Microsoft and Activision's new agreement with Ubisoft. This was the cloud gaming agreement that got the British CMA to give in, presents a whole new facet to the merger that will affect American consumers, which the FTC will assess as part of its ongoing administrative proceeding. The FTC continues to believe this deal is a threat to competition. So maybe what they did for the Brits didn't sit so well with the Yanks.
I think the FTC's view on this antitrust stuff, and they're doing it with AI now too, they sort of they make a lot of noise, and they think that will sort of put companies on notice and, I guess lead to better behavior. But I don't know if that's going to work because they keep losing in court. And so if you don't have the threat of like, hey, we might actually, we could win in court, then I don't know if the saber rattling really has the intended effect. And it might. But
it's funny that the CMA agreement that they made with Ubisoft is actually pissing off the Americans. This is the press release from Microsoft about the Communication Workers of America, CWA. Microsoft said that 60 days after the acquisition, so that'd be 60 days from Friday, there will be a new agreement with the CWA that in effect will support the workers' rights to unionize at the company. So I think that's, you could say, well, they made a deal with the CWA, but that's the right deal, right? We're going to protect our workers. Those are the kinds of deals Brad Smith and Microsoft made across the board to reassure regulators. It just shows how much Satya Nadella wanted this. And I say, okay, maybe you'll correct me, Lou. It's not Satya, it's Brad, and it's others, but
Bill, whoever, right?
Yeah, Bill wanted this.
Yeah.
But I think
and it's far from Microsoft's first antitrust rodeo.
No,
Right.
That's right.
They know how to do this.
But I think I've seen articles. Nadella, since he took over at Microsoft, which is what, 7-8 years ago now, has been on a acquisition. I don't want to say rampage, shopping spree. How about that? He's really and in every case, it's brought them strength in another area that has really helped Microsoft grow. And in fact, if you look at their stock, if you use their stock prices as a way of judging that, it has absolutely impacted the stock price for the good. So some credit, I think, also to Satya Nadella. I know that it's not his acquisition, et cetera, but he is really spearheading a new Microsoft. Can we say that?
Yeah, I think in multiple fronts, he's been changing lots of things. Obviously, company culture, how we deal with acquisitions when they come into the company. Like, I think, there are lots of culture changes internally have definitely shifted us in the right direction.
You've seen that,
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Is LinkedIn a good example of that, do you think? I mean,
LinkedIn, absolutely. I mean, the nice thing about LinkedIn is we got a lot of talented people that came with LinkedIn as well, and so even our CTO came from LinkedIn. And so, I mean, he's part of the OpenAI deal, and he's been kind of driving things, and so I think we got a lot of good things that came with LinkedIn.
Since 2014, Satya Nadella has made a deal, besides the $69 billion deal, has made deals worth $170 billion, 326 deals since he took over. Now it's 9 years. GitHub, LinkedIn, ZeniMax, another gaming company. Maybe we forgot the second biggest acquisition, I think, was Nuance, where a huge acquisition. Nuance had been it's kind of a bigger fish eating a little, and going all the way up to the biggest fish, because Nuance had been acquiring all the text-to-speech, or rather speech-to-text companies all around the world, and then they just got eaten up by Microsoft. Of course, Minecraft, Mojang Studios. So that's 326 deals in 9 years. That's a lot of deals.